Hello, everybody. Wolfbang here. Today is Saturday, May the something, May the 9th. Uh, I should say good evening because it's almost 7:30. I was busy trying to clean and do what I've been wanting to do. I guess I don't know. I cleaned up kind of what you see behind me. I still, man, I'll tell you what. I think I've said this before, but when you live in a place for 20 plus years, you collect some stuff. So, has anybody heard about Bigfoot? I know we all have. We all have. Bigfoot, Yeti, Sasquatch. There's all kinds. I wonder if they're racist. Anyway, oh come on, that was funny. Um, somebody up in, I think it was Akron, uh, thinks they may have spotted Bigfoot. I saw this on TV and then I got it here online. So let me share. Bigfoot could be your next door neighbor, too. Don't forget that. Uh, I don't think I've ever really did a video. Well, yeah, I have. I go live. I was thinking about going live last night. Anyway, I'm babbling. Uh, oh, I removed it. God damn it. I hit the wrong button. Maybe this is why I don't do videos. I'm never prepared. I do this from the hip. I swear, man. I just let's do this. Was Bigfoot just spotted in Ohio? Reported sightings stoke a long-running hunt for answers. This was put out by Andy Rose from CNN. Mike Miller and Benjamin Radford had both spent years talking about Bigfoot from very different points of views. When you hear something or you see something, you know that sticks with you and becomes part of you, and you just can't shake it, says Miller, who has been on the hunt for the Yeti for nearly 2 decades with the Ohio Night Stalkers. Ooh, Night Stalker. I remember that TV show. It's a fascinating question whether or not these creatures exist. Also, Radford, folklorist and deputy editor of Skeptical Inquirer magazine. But that's about all Miller and Radford agree on when it comes to the existence of an unidentified species of hairy giants. And they say they stink too. I don't know. I never sniffed one. For Miller, the hunter, finding Sasquatch is a mystery whose answer could be around any corner or in any cave. For Radford, the skeptic, it's a source of constant disappointment. Just when you're this close, if they're real, they live and breathe and poop and eat and sleep and drop dead. And we should be able to find one, Radford says. And he makes a good point. How are they being elusive? It would have been, let's see, there would have to be thousands of them. The long running debate got a new spark in March, a big uptick in reports, known by Bigfoot aficionados as a flap, was cataloged around Portage County, Ohio, just east of Akron, with unidentified figures averaging 8 feet tall in the wooded areas along the Mahoning River. And it stopped just as quickly as it started, says Jeremy Braun, host of the Bigfoot Society podcast, which collected and mapped the reports and has cited a dramatic change in weather conditions from winter to spring may have put a Bigfoot herd on the move. The sudden surge of claimed sightings, call it the Ohio Flap of 2026, reignited a debate that's been going on in North America for upwards of a century. There's a breed reassembling hulking apes, humanoids, if you want to be technical, live among us. At one point, both believers and non-believers seem to agree. It's a hell of a lot of fun to talk about it. It's such a weird world. Brian smiles. Mm-hmm. It is strange. There's all kinds of, I don't know. The folklore about mysterious and elusive creatures in North America, experts say, become more mainstream with a 1960 article in True magazine describing a tall, hairy figure that looked partially human and partially animal. What started as pure storytelling evolved into more organized searching for answers using newer technology. The question of true or false became a sensation in 1967 with the famous film shot by Roger Patterson and Bob Gimlin in the Pacific Northwest, capturing a hairy figure ambling through a Northern California woods. Decades of debate have followed on whether the film was a hoax or not. And I do remember that picture, and I think that they said it was a hoax. I don't know. The mystery even got the attention of the FBI, which agreed in 1976 to examine 15 hair samples taken from a reported Bigfoot encounter in Oregon. This is a serious question that needs a serious answer. Reads a letter from the director of the Bigfoot Information Center. After putting the samples under a microscope, the FBI provided its answer. It was concluded as a result of these examinations that the hairs are of deer family origin. Crossbreeding. But the demand for answers to time-worn mysteries only increased as the weekly TV series In Search of, I used to watch that, hosted by Leonard Nimoy, included several Bigfoot stories and its chronicle of the strange. Both Brian and Redford cite the show as helping to inspire their interest in unexplained phenomena. Now, the search for Sasquatch is also a source of humor and even marketing, with everything from deodorant to beef jerky getting in on the brand. So they made beef jerky out of Sasquatch? Wow, that's pretty cool. And it's a favorite subject of April Fool's Day pranksters, even in the Forest Service. Strange sights in Ohio return the story to the spotlight. A group, man, they're finally getting to the group of reports received in March by the Bigfoot Society podcast follow many of the patterns of past sightings. Hairy, tall, brown, or black, with a long stride and unique sounds sticking closely to small waterways. A lot of people think Bigfoot, try to follow the creek systems that's given them a way to kind of keep out of sight, says Braun. Dedicated Bigfoot seekers try hard not to be gullible. I misread that, sorry. Says Miller, the hunter who wasn't convinced of the Northeast Ohio Bigfoot flap when he first heard of it. It's good to be skeptical, he says. There is a Bigfoot conference up in that area. And I thought maybe it was a little bit of publicity. But after taking a closer look at the reports and the patterns, Miller is convinced the claimed March sightings were not a hoax, but maybe evidence of a herd of Yeti on the move after a hard winter freeze gave way to a warmer than normal thaw. The tracks look legitimate, and some of the people sounded terrified when they talked about about things, he says. Talk about things. Hey, look, it's your buddy. Like Miller, Bronson doesn't take every report at face value, making sure he talks to people directly before publicizing their claims. Once word got out about the reports in Ohio, so did the obvious fakers. I started to get a lot of AI generated reports in my email. It got up to the point where I was probably getting about 1,000 emails a day, he says. But when Braun spoke by phone with people who made the initial reports, they convinced him they weren't making anything up. It was obvious they weren't just wanting to get their name out there, says Braun. They were just freaked out by what they experienced, and they didn't want anything else to do with it. Braun first got into the world of chasing Bigfoot stories in 2016 and describes his podcast as, more than anything, a forum for people to tell their stories, including experiences many were afraid to acknowledge. They need someone to talk to, and they need someone that's going to let them share, because they've never gotten respect before, he says. Serious talks with a sense of humor. Used to getting plenty of raised eyebrows, many chasers of Sasquatch have a sense of humor about their work. Miller's Facebook page features an AI rendering of him posing in the woods next to Bigfoot. The beast's arms stretch casually over his shoulder. Local law enforcement in Ohio also seemed to enjoy the publicity. Portage County Sheriff Bruce D. Zawoski made a series of gag posts purporting to show the arrest of Bigfoot and his detention by Immigration and Customs Enforcement, only for the creature to escape from custody at the Canadian border. You go, Bigfoot. Warning, if you attempt to photograph Bigfoot, the picture will be blurry. One satirical, I don't know, I can't say it. Somebody posted. Despite the legitimacy, this sheriff's office really did get some calls from concerned residents, Zawoski says. 10 individual people were like, yeah, I was walking my dog at 4 a.m. and I saw this hairy figure and I smelled this musty odor, and there was this big thing, and all of a sudden it ran. The sheriff told CNN. New reports don't end disagreements. The latest raft of reporting with mysterious figures and unexplained sounds has not yet made a believer out of the skeptic Benjamin Radford. I don't make fun of people who look for Bigfoot. I don't look down on investigators, he says. I don't think it's too stupid or silly. My issue is they're not bringing good science to it. While true believers know they risk ridicule when raising the topic, Radford gets his own frosty reception when he speaks at conferences of Bigfoot enthusiasts as a self-described token skeptic. Although he is received politely, he tells them it's crystal clear that whatever methods you're using aren't working. I'm like, hey guys, I hate to rain on your parade. I don't think Bigfoots are real, he adds. It's possible that tomorrow or next month they will find a Bigfoot. However, based on the evidence so far, it's probably not there. For the most hardcore searchers, Radford believes the social aspect, getting together, spending a night in the woods with the tools of the trade like night scope cameras, parabolic microphones. This is the real draw of the chase. There's actually parallels to ghost hunting groups, says Radford, who has written skeptically on other mystical creatures like the Chupacabra, a grotesque creature said to drink the blood of livestock. It's about hanging out with your buddies and camping and saying, oh my God, what was that? For his part, Mark Miller, the Bigfoot hunter, who makes his living as a delivery driver, says his focus is strictly on trying to uncover the unexplained. I don't have a lot of free time, he says. A lot of people think you'll probably get drunker than hell and go into the woods. No, I would not be wasting my time if there wasn't something there. So, my question is, do you believe? I believe there's UFOs out there. I'll put it. I believe there's some type of intelligent life out in space. And as I've said forever, there's too much out there. There's too much in the universe and beyond. There's too much. We can't be the only one. That's what I believe. So if they are, I'd love to see a UFO. I really would. Now, I don't know why I would find it freakier to run it. Well, because of being you can, man, see, I don't know. I'm confusing myself now. I mean, I think I'd rather see it come down from the sky. You're walking in the woods and all of a sudden Bigfoot just steps out from behind a tree. I think I would shit my pants. Anyway, leave a comment if you may. Shit, I hope everybody has a great Saturday night. I know I'm off to a fun start. I amuse myself at sometimes. So this is Wolfgang. I hope you guys enjoyed the goofiness, and I'll bullshit with y'all later. Peace.